Hello everyone, and welcome to part 2 of the multi-item and shulker box sorter tutorial. We built the multi-item sorter in part 1, so make sure to check that out if you haven't already seen it. Today we're going to be making the storage silos and the overflow chests, along with the shulker box sorters and item sorters, which are down here. So we should be done everything at the end of this video, and you will have a beautiful working sorter. So without further ado, let's get into the tutorial. Alright, we're back here in the tutorial world, here at our sorter system. And we're going to start by coming one block off of this here. We're going to put a door here. 2 blocks in, and let's put some scaffolding up to here. And now we have our maintenance hatch, so if you ever need to put more items in, come over here and check the chests, check the minecart, make sure everything's working right, and sometimes you'll have to push this to get the minecart to go. And once we have the maintenance area in, we're going to put a block here. We're going to go back one more block, and this is where our first chest is going to go. We're going to go double chest, lamp, 2 blocks, double chest, lamp, 2 blocks, double chest, lamp. Yeah, you could do as many of these as you want, but I'm going to do 3. And once you get to the end, you're just going to put a block there like that. Now we're going to build these up to the same height as our sorter. Once we've got that, we're going to come around the back and put all of our hoppers on this side of the chest, the side away from the lamp. We're going to need temporary blocks on top of those chests, and we put hoppers facing into them. And then from these hoppers, we actually just want to go over here and have a line of hoppers facing down the line, going over top of our silos, and then we connect this part into it. So the items are just going to come along and keep going across. Now we're going to get into the item sorters. So we're going to put a block there, just a little right angle here. On this block, we're going to put a torch. We're going to want a repeater going into that block, a block on the repeater, and just cover that up. We'll put a comparator getting a reading from the hopper, and 3 dust there. So that is how our sorter works. We're going to grab some stone, and we need more of our named sticks here. So we put in 4 named sticks, and whatever item we want to go into the silo, we should need 41 of it. Yeah, it stops at 41. So I'm going to do that for the rest of the silos, and I'll be back. All right, now we've got all of our silos ready. Our stone, our cobblestone, and our netherrack. These can be anything you want. We're going to start with lighting the lights up. So we're going to put our blocks there. Going to come down, and right below here, we're going to put a comparator facing into the block. These comparators are powering those blocks looking into the hoppers. And in between those, we're going to bring out another block like that. Comparator into it. We're going to come around to here. And then we're going to come in right on that corner there. Come out again like that and bring it into there. We're going to take a repeater out of this block and just fill in the rest of this with dust. We're going to do that again for this part. Oh man. There we go. And bring it around with the same shape. And make sure you got your repeater coming out. So now if we put items in here, it lights up that one. If we put them in here, it lights up that one. That one's being lit up because there's items going down. And we put items in here, and that one's on. And we know the bottom one works now. Now for the second side, things get a little bit trickier because the redstone dust is here. So we're going to put our comparators back in the same spots they were over there, but this time we're going to build it out like that and put a block here. We'll go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 repeaters, and then we'll build the same shape we had coming over here. We're going to fill that in with dust this time. So once again, we put a block there, bring out our bridge, up one here on the corner. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 comparators. Sorry, repeaters. And then we build our same little corner shape that just touches the side of this, corner to corner. We don't want any of this redstone to connect. And then of course we have our comparators on this side again. I'll just finish off the last one and I'll be back. Okay, now we've got all of our silos in and all the lamps are powered. So we're going to come over here. We've got our one diagonal block over. We're going to come one more. And we're going to put in our overflow chests. You could put as many layers of these as you want. I'm going to do 4. 4 is a bit much. I don't really see me ever filling these up. But then we're going to put hoppers into the back. We're going to put hoppers facing down on these ones and on the last one here. Then we're going to have all the rest of our hoppers facing into that, and we're going to connect it up with the rest of the system. So now should look like this. We've got our overflow for items that aren't in the sorter. We've got our silos for our big items and our sorter for everything else. The sorter is now functionally done. Now we're going to move on to our shulker box parts. Hey, here is going to be our storage for our shulker boxes. We're going to come over 1. This is our full boxes. Then we're going to grab our blocks and come out 2. And here is going to be our empty boxes. So we just got to finish that up here. And there we go. That's done. Let's just plop a sign on here that says empty boxes. And then we'll go over here and put our full boxes. So now we know which one's which. We're also going to take our hoppers. What the heck? Oh well. We're just going to get our hoppers and put them in. But we don't need to connect these to the big system. Just leave these like that. And now we can start on our input for the whole thing. All right, I've put in a floor now because we need somewhere to walk, but we also need somewhere to put our items. Here we've got a circle, and this circle has 5 blocks here, and then it goes 2 this way, 2 this way, 5 blocks here, 2 this way, 2 this way, and you just repeat that pattern for the rest of the circle. You're going to find the center of the circle, and you're going to go down at least 22 blocks. I've done 30 just to give myself some extra room and a little bit of depth to throw my items into the whirlpool. And now we can start building our shulker box sorter. All right, now I like to put my first dropper facing this direction, just out towards the back of the machine. And we're going to go 1 block to this direction and 1 block this direction. We're going to put our first dropper here. We're going to put a hopper into that. We're going to come 1 block over with a barrel, put a hopper into that barrel. Then we're going to put our second dropper here with a hopper into it. We're going to break that block. We actually need something underneath there. We're going to put a target block here and a target block here. We'll fill this in with redstone. We'll put a comparator, a repeater, and 2 dust like that. So we're just making a nice little clock. It'll shoot out everything it gets. We're gonna do something very similar here. Just boom, boom, like that. And this all works too. From here, we're going to put a block on top of there with another dropper here. We're going to put 2 comparators like that. 1 block on top. We need to grab our dispenser now and have that facing down. And our piston is going to be here facing in. So this is what we've got now. We're going to have an observer looking at that dropper with a sticky piston on top and a redstone block. Where did my hoppers go? Into the dispenser, we're going to have a hopper, a observer looking at the hopper, a sticky piston facing down, and a block on the back of this piston. A chest on top of here. We're going to finish it off with an observer looking at that observer and powering this piston. So now we're going to get a shulker box and just put a few items in it. We're going to test it out by putting our shulker box with items in it in there. It should start emptying. Once it finishes, it'll head off this way. So that's perfect. That's just what we want to see. Now we can build the next step. Now we're going to place some chests in a alternating pattern like that. We're going to come to the back, get our hoppers, put each hopper into the back of those chests, and then one's facing straight down into them like that. On top, we are going to grab our piston, and we want a piston on this side. We want our dispenser and our note block, so we put our dispenser facing straight down there, and our note block here. We're going to put another block here. And I just like to put some glass in here to stop the shulker boxes from flying out, because they will do that from time to time. So just like that. Only 1 glass on this side is needed. Now we are around the back side of this thing where we left our spot open. We're going to put a solid block there, a redstone comparator here, into a block here with a dust on top of it and a torch out the back. From that torch, we're going to place 2 blocks with 2 activator rails, and we want our observer looking into those. From there, we're going to put a block here, here, and here with a repeater on 1 tick here, or well, 2 ticks. You click it once. We're going to put a block there, a block here, a comparator facing this way out of that block. And then down here, we're going to build this shape out. We're going to put a comparator here, this one on subtract mode, connect those with dust. Then we're going to put a cauldron with a water bottle here on the subtract one, and a cake on the other one. Again, we're just going to want to cover this up so no rain goes into it. From this comparator, we're going to put a block here, a block there, and a dust here. On this side, we're going to come down here and put a block there. Now, how we test this one is we get some shulker boxes. We'll fill 1 completely full. We'll have one with a few items in it and one empty one. So we have full, partially full, and empty. Well, we need a hopper first before we can test it. We need a hopper facing into the dropper with a chest on top. And now we're going to put our shulker boxes in, and it should look like this. Our partially full one came down here to get emptied. Our full one is here, and our empty one is here. So everything there is working. That's very good, and we're almost done. So now we've got something to empty the partially full shulker boxes. We've got something to sort our empty, full, and partially full shulker boxes. Now we just need to sort shulker boxes from items. So we're going to put a hopper facing straight down into that chest. We're going to put a temporary block here with another hopper facing straight down. Break that one. Here we're going to place a dropper looking in this direction and place a shulker box here. On top of that, we're going to put a hopper, a double chest. So this is our new input chest. And out the back of this dropper, or sorry, on the hopper, we're looking at the hopper. We are going to have a comparator going into this block. We're going to bring this around like this. Put a repeater here and a dust there. Then we're going to go down here. Put a repeater here on one tick, or two ticks again, sorry. And a dust there. So we just click that once to get it on two ticks. We've got a dust there. And now, if we throw a shulker box and some items in, our shulker box goes down there and our items start flowing into this hopper. So that's working. That's good. And our empty shulker box should be here. And it is. So now everything's working. And we need to make our water streams and our other outputs for here and here. So we're going to start here at our full shulker box storage. That's the one in the middle here. And we're going to put a temporary block there with a dropper. And then we're going to grab some hoppers and have them feed directly into that. From the outside here, we're going to build out our little platform. And we're going to get a target block. Put that target block here, and we're going to do pretty much the same thing we did with our droppers down there, where we're just creating this little clock to keep firing it. We're going to go for our top dropper now, which is actually going to be one block back. This dropper is going to be here. We're going to connect those with hoppers as well. And same dealio out the back. The same old clock going in here. Oops, this should be a repeater. There we go. Now we're going to come up here and put two temporary blocks into another dropper here and connect those up with hoppers. And do the exact same thing here with our clock. All right, now that all these droppers are in place and have working clocks attached to them, we could start making our water streams. Okay, it's pretty important to test this thing after we've got it built before we commit to the water streams. So we've got our cyan shulker boxes are partially full, our purple ones are completely full, and then our regular ones are empty. So I'm just going to dump everything in here. And our items are coming out where they should be. We have an empty shulker box there. It's got to get through all the items first. And then it'll get into these shulker boxes. So let's just slim that down because we know that's working. Our shulker boxes are going now. Our empty ones are going where the empty ones should. Our full ones are going where the full ones should. Our cyan ones have come down here to get emptied. And we already know this bit's working. I put too many items in there, I guess. Yeah, they take a little while, but yep, this bit is working. So that's a big success, and now we can hook up our water streams. Now for this part, you're going to want to get yourself some kind of building block. I'm going to use glass. You're going to need packed ice, some pressure plates, soul sand, kelp, and some water buckets. I'm going to start by going up to the item input chest, and I'm going to close this off, leave one block open here. This is where the items are going to flow up, so we're going to bring that all the way down to the bottom. I'm going to leave it a little floaty right now. I just want to know approximately where it is. If you're under the ground in survival mode, using F3 to get your coordinates is a very good way to find where these things have got to go. So this big one going into the sorter, this is where we want our items to go. Now we know that, oops, this one down here is items, and this one up here is items. So these two are going to have to get connected. Oops, where is that? Boom, right here. These two are going to have to get connected by water stream like this, and right here we're going to put an ice and a pressure plate and cover the sides up like that. We're gonna come over like this. Now we can place our water bucket in and watch where it goes to. It goes to here, so I'm actually gonna block that off and put ice here because it needs to flow into water. This one didn't quite make it. So again, I'm gonna put, well, not there actually. I'm gonna put it here, just so I can get more water right here. So now you can see the items are gonna come out of the dropper, go straight this way, hit this water stream, and go straight this way into the big tube. That's what we want.
Next level.
Everything's looking good. So we're going to put soul sand right there. So the items will flow right in on top of the soul sand. What we're going to do now is come up to the top. We're going to put a water bucket here so it flows in on top of the hoppers. And we swim all the way down to the bottom. Well, we got to wait for the water to do that too. And then we just put our kelp in, which is going to turn all of this water that we're in into source blocks. And that will allow the soul sand to make a bubble vader all the way to the top. So our items are now coming up here. There we go. I put a block on top because otherwise the items will just fly on out like it's nobody's business. And yeah, some of our kelp went into there. We've got our item water stream done. And now we just need to connect our empty and full shulker boxes. So we're going to do the same thing here where we build around and we have water streams to come up. So now you can see this is where our full shulker boxes are going to come up, and this is where our empty ones are going to come. And now we just need to connect everything up. The empty shulker boxes. The empty shulker boxes have two outputs here and here. So we're just going to need to connect these two up like we did over here again. And then our full shulker boxes can go straight to the chest. I'll be back when those are done.
Next level. Next level.
Here, there's just a few things I want to mention. So right here on top of the droppers, we're going to want some blocks just so that the dropper doesn't shoot it up on top on the sides. Because sometimes the dropper will shoot it up and it will land on the side. So we just want a couple blocks there to stop it from doing that. And now here's the more difficult part is down here at the full box. I actually like to go down an extra block here because it's going to have to cross over the empty box stream. So we go like that and it has free clearance right through.
Next level. Next level.
So I'm back now and we've got everything hooked up to the water streams. Everything is working and functional. And now if we wanted to, we could just put a chest here and use this as an input chest. But we can do better than that, right? We want our big fancy whirlpool. Because it's fun to just come up and throw items into a hole and have them sorted for you, right? So what we're going to do with that is we're going to have our 3 blocks coming out like that. And then we're going to put our corner blocks in. So we've got our little circle like that. And now we need to bring our walls down so that we know where everything is. I think this is the easiest way to do it. And then you just connect the shapes up here on another level. And you want to know where these corners are too. There we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2. 1, 2. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2. 1, 2. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. The same circle is up there. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. Yeah, there we go. So we've ended up with the same circle, and now we're just gonna fill in the rest of these parts. So it looks like this. And we're gonna put in some walls here. just so that the water doesn't fall out. Okay, now we've got our shape down, and we're going to put water in each of these corners. And then we're going to put it in all of these spots. So all of our water's flowing to the center. And then we're going to put a fence gate there. So this is how that looks. And now we just need to fill in the rest of the walls so no items miss the water. And I'll be back when that's done. So I have some items in my inventory here. The stone should go to the stone silo. The cobblestone should go to the cobblestone silo. The saplings are not in the system, so they should come to the overflow. And then we have our same boxes from before, purple being completely full, cyan having a few items in it, and the regular color being empty. So we should end up with three purple shulker boxes, 3 cyan shulker boxes in here, our 3 purple our 3 purple shulker boxes in the full boxes, our saplings in this chest, our stone and cobble in these boxes, a bit of redstone in here, and our granite in here. So I'm gonna come over to our whirlpool here and just start throwing everything in. And we'll look down here. Our purple shulker boxes are already on their way, and some items are being sent in to the item stream. Our empty shulker boxes are going that way as well. We'll come up here, and the minecart has already left. Let's see. So it's filling up. I'm pretty sure these are the saplings first. So they should be flowing along to this box. Maybe not. Oh, we've selected some redstone, so we've got some redstone in. And it's coming on over to the redstone box, and it starts filling up with our redstone from our cyan shulker boxes. Let's go check. Our full shulker boxes are here. And I guess I forgot to clean out a piece of kelp from before. Oops. And here's our empty boxes. Oops, this one. We've got our 6 empty boxes here. And our items are all gonna be in this box. The stone has just been picked up by the minecart. Off to the races it goes. It doesn't find any item in the system with it. So it comes on over and just starts sending them out the back. They will get picked up by this box though. So here it comes, and here comes our stone, right on time. When our box gets full, it'll start filling up the hoppers behind, and the lights will turn on. So if that were full and then there was another stone here, light would turn on. And we've got something new here. It looks like we've got the saplings. And the saplings not being in the system or the silos. Yep, here they come. I'll just let this thing do its thing, and I'll be right back when it's done going. Alright, the system is done going. We have our empty chest. Our minecart is back set with the 4 wooden swords like it should be, with 1 sword there and our blocker stone in there. So everything worked perfectly. We'll check our boxes. We've got our granite. We know we got our stone and our cobblestone. There's our saplings, our full boxes, and our empty boxes. Just a few more things I'd like to add. That would be 1, making sure you don't throw non-stackable items in here, being water bottles, buckets filled with anything, boats, you know, just things that don't stack on top of each other. We don't want any of those in there. Another thing would be come down here and to just make a... How does scaffolding work? There we go. It's a good idea to make a little maintenance hatch here, just in case you need to come down and look at if anything down here is going wrong, or if a shulker box gets stuck, or something along those lines. It's always nice to have access to your redstones when you're in survival. Another thing I'd like to go over is sometimes the minecart will fill with items, but it won't go. If that's the case, this torch will be burned out, and you can press this button, and it will launch the minecart. Well, this has been the tutorial. I'm so happy to have built one of these in my survival world. Let me know in the comments if anyone else has built one. Anyways, I hope you've enjoyed the video, and I'll see ya in the next one. Bye-bye!